Hi YouTube, hi. I want to start this video just by saying a massive thank you to all the people that subscribe to my channel. It's been quite a slow start, but I've just literally gone over 1,000 subscribers, so I know that's probably not a lot compared to some people's channels, but it means a lot to me. So thank you very much, and I hope you love my videos, and I'll just try and make them more frequently and better and better. Okay, so this is the second part of the series that I wanted to do. I've got a really funny throat at the moment, and basically I wanted to look at the emotional changes that I've had over the last 2 years. So first of all, I wanted to, first thing, most obvious thing, and I think it's something that a lot of people say, which is the range of their emotions. I found that, I don't know, when I started, I was really like, I'd heard a lot of people say this, and I was like, I really want to feel like, when I'm happy, like I'm suddenly like happy here as opposed to just happy here. Like what is this? I don't know how can you kind of feel that? If you're not on drugs, I know kind of what that feeling is like. So I suppose in some ways I kind of I was perhaps thinking, how do you get such an intensity of emotional happiness and euphoria or sadness? But I do feel that my emotions have really become a lot more intense. I can, for example, cliche kind of thing, I could always kind of cry quite easily watching a film, way before transition. But I mean, God, I watched a film the other day, and I've never cried so much in my life. I literally absolutely bawled my eyes out for half an hour, and even afterwards, I was just later that evening, I was just like, oh my God, it's so sad. And then conversely, happiness. Like when I had my racing in France, and I just had such an amazing time. I was on a high for a whole week. I literally felt like someone had given me happy drugs every morning when I woke up. I went to work, everyone I met, everything. I was just I'm just so happy right now. So I guess that's kind of, one thing I've experienced. I'm a lot more relaxed in myself. I used to be kind of uptight, I guess, not OCD, maybe minor OCD, little things. I try to control a lot of little things in my life and try and keep everything perfect and everything just so in the right place. And now I just, stuff like that, I really just don't care. I'm just a lot more I'm just happier, and I'm doing other stuff. I'm not thinking about it, I'm just busy with other stuff. And I was trying to understand it, and I thought, I think it's I kind of put it down to the fact that there was this massive problem always in my life with me and who I am. And at the same time, I felt like I had no self-control, I had no control over it. So I tried to perhaps overcome that by trying to really control all the other things. Whereas now that I have control over who I am and what I look like, and I am who I want to be. None of these other things, all these little things that I used to obsess about and try and really get uptight about, and I just don't give a shit now. It's just it's great. I'm just I can get on with other focusing and thinking about things that actually matter in life. So just generally a lot more settled and laid back. My temper. I've always been quite a laid back person, and I've never really had much of a temper. Certain things, my oldest brother can really push my button. but that's just like a sibling thing. I don't think that's anything, that's just normal. But sometimes I find these days I have quite a short fuse. Not often, and it might just be if I'm a bit tired or something. But whereas before I wouldn't, someone I don't really know, or someone I just met, or someone at work or something, is just kind of annoying me quite intensely. It'll really get to me, and I'll really kind of let them know, and not like a really unkind way, but just kind of let them know that they're pissing me off quite quickly. Whereas before I was much more polite and I didn't really feel confident. I'd just be like, I'll just not say anything. Now I'm just a bit like, things can, things can kind of get to me. But I think that's part of just knowing your own mind and being more confident in your decisions, which is my next thing I want to talk about is assertiveness. I've become like 100 times more assertive. Like in the past I would just kind of bumble along a lot, and I'd go into somewhere like, I don't know, especially like I don't know, like a bar or a restaurant or somewhere like that, and I kind of just stand there for ages and never really managed to like catch people's attention, and just be a bit like, stand back and not really want to be noticed. Whereas now, I'm kind of the opposite. I'll go into somewhere or a situation and I just feel very like, I know what I want to do here. I know, that's what I want to do. Can you get that? Can I, or just with bolder stuff in my life, making decisions. I feel, I guess as well, it's having done what I've done. I feel like now I know, I trust my own judgment. I think that's the key thing, and it's made me a lot more, actually no, I know what I want in life. I know what I want. I don't want this. I do want that, and I kind of feel very confident about going out in the world and trying to get that, and not being afraid of people saying, or what people think, not like crushing people along the way, but just, going out and getting, getting what I want in life. And fear. I feel really fearless these days, apart from spiders and jellyfish. I'm really terrified of them. And again, it's like, I don't really fear anything. I don't get scared when I race my car. I don't get scared. It's this whole thing of like having faced your biggest fear and kind of overcoming it. I don't feel, I don't know, just, I feel like nothing else really can really frighten me. Potentially getting like really ill with something like a horrible disease, but that's something I don't really think about on a day-to-day basis, because what's the point? But I think, it's like when you take on a big challenge, and you feel like you've done this thing all on your own. You think, well, what could possibly be more scary than transitioning? What could be worse? What could be harder? And it's now made me feel like I need challenges in my life. Like I'm trying to figure out some other things that I want to do, which are quite like to do with my racing. I want to go and race in France, and I'm changing my car, and I'm going to go and hopefully next year like just go over there all the time and race. And that is like, it's important to me because I know I'm going to have my SRS soon, and then it's like, great, okay, transition's done, what do I do now? I need another challenge. So it's kind of funny. what else was I going to say? Loneliness, emotion wise, sometimes I get a bit lonely. I'm quite good on my own, but I do feel sometimes now that I'm more aware of being on my own a bit. Well, I am on my own, I live on my own. I guess I'd really like to meet somebody, but I think, SRS has got to come first, so it's just one of those things. And kind of finally, just self-belief, knowing who I am now. Like, I know who like, if you'd asked me this question 3-4 years ago, I'd say, yeah, I know who I am. But now, I really feel like I know who I am. And when I look back, I'm not sure who I was then, if that makes sense. It's crazy. Like, I think I was saying in my other video, when I look back at me from 2 years ago, it feels like such a long time ago. And when I look further back, I'll do like a montage at some point and show like really old pictures of me. I just look at who I was then and I see someone else. It's really strange. And although I'm still the same person, I do know that so many things inside me have changed, like the things I've just talked about, and a whole load of other things that are much more kind of tangential and things you can't really put your fingers on. And it's just that, yeah, I do feel like a different person now. And I don't know. There's a big disconnect between who I was and who I am. And that's something I'm probably going to talk a lot more about in my next video. But I think really it's just, sorry, I'm trying to read my notes. I think with self-belief and stuff, it's like I care a lot less about how people see me and what people think. Now I'm just comfortable to be me in my own skin, and that's enough for me. Whereas before I used to, I always used to like be so self-conscious of people around me and what they were looking at me or thinking about me. Now that's just goes over my head. It's funny. So yeah, that's I hope that wasn't too rambling, but yeah, that's the end of that. So my next video I'm going to do is all about kind of more like who I am now and what has changed in my life, how people react to me differently, some insights into how people treat you as male, how people treat you as female, some good, some bad. So that's going to be the next video, but I'll wind this up anyway, so hopefully see you guys soon.